Hey guys, so today's my day off. Had to take my car in the shop today to start off because one, it needed an oil change, but also the check engine light came on, which is always a scary thing, right? You're like, okay, it could simply be the spark plugs and air filter needs to be changed, no big deal, or it could be your engine's screwed. Well, what? And I didn't think knew it wasn't screwed because it wasn't making any funny noises, it wasn't acting funny. But their code came back saying it was a torque converter for the transmission, and they don't do it there, so we'll have to call around and see how much it is, and then next week on my day off, I have to take it in. Sucks, but happens. It sucks because this fall my car's paid off, and I like to have the car for a while paid off and not have to get another car loan right away. I'm not one of those people, I pay my car off, oh, I need to go get another car loan and another car. You know how many people I know who do that? The minute their contract is up or loan, they get a new thing right away. I prefer to keep my money than give it away, but that's just me. And so that going on. And my wife, 2 days ago, my wife I've kind of harped on her this the last year or so about the stock, buying more into stocks or other investments. I've been more or less playing with the stock market for 20 years. I never had a lot of money into it, but I've had most at one time, $3,000 maybe is the most I've ever had invested in the stock market. And twice I've had to sell everything off. Things came up. That's the whole point. It was there in case something happened. Something happened. It was cool to have it. It was cool to take care of that problem. Things that arise. And so it'll be more than doubling what we have. Not a lot of money, but doubling what we have. And I really get into investing in stocks and all that stuff. That is just looking at a company's history and looking at the earnings and their moving averages and all that stuff, looking at their quarterly earnings and they're listening to investor calls, all that. I like all that stuff. Some people find that stuff boring. And I am more of a dividend investor. That is buying stocks in a company where a company pays me to hold the stock. For those who don't know what dividends are, dividend investing is where you buy a company. Let's take Hasbro. You buy the Hasbro toy company, $20-some a share, whatever it is right now. You buy a share of that stock. And Hasbro just announced they're increasing their dividend. I think it's an answer to Mattel because Mattel just increased theirs too. But Hasbro increased their dividend from 30 cents to 36 cents. So every 3 months, you get a 36-cent dividend for holding that stock. And it comes out, I don't know, it's 3 or 4%, I believe, of the value of the stock. And that's how they base dividends. When they say percentage, it's based on the total value of the stock at that time. So 3 or 4%. And so I like to buy stocks that pay me to hold the stock. So I like to buy stocks that pay dividends. And especially if the more boring the company is, the better off you are, or no volatility, a lot of volatility, or earnings are going up and down or stuff like that. Microsoft is considered a mature company. Microsoft stock hasn't moved very much range-wise in a long time. It stays where it is. They pay a dividend. They're safe, more of a safer bet to hold on. You buy it, you hold on to it. And so those stocks are good because you buy those stocks, you buy shares of those stocks, they pay you money, and eventually you build up your dividends where you get enough money for them where you can use that dividend to buy other stock. And so dividend stocks technically always go up more a year than non-dividend stocks. And a lot of tech companies that people fall in love with don't give dividends, and that's why I don't buy them, because you're basing on the fact you're hoping the stock goes up. Long term, I like companies that give me a dividend. For example, I've held WWE, the wrestling company, on and off for about 10 years now, because they give a 12-cent dividend. They used to give 24, but they cut it down. But everybody knew that was coming because they were burning through their reserves faster than, this was burning into their reserves at some point. They'd have to cut it down where it was a manageable level, which they did. And so owning they're a little under $10 stock, 5% of the value of the stock you'll get a year in dividend. WWE has very little risk. It's a boring company, but it pays good. And that's what I like. I like dividend companies that are boring. that pay me money, that I know you can go. See, the younger you are, the more risk you can have. But the first thing I always would tell anybody ever investing in the stock market, first of all, it's not as expensive as you think it is to get in. A lot today online today, some have where you don't have to have any money down to open an account. You do have to like, they do have to check your credit and approve you, of course. But once you get that, some of them have, they tell you off the bat what the minimum to open an account and stuff like that is. And you have to pay per trade, obviously. And so, that it's funny how many of my friends aren't invested in anything for their retirement. Like, they expect, Social Security to pay everything. That's just crazy, right? I don't expect there to be any Social Security when I get old enough to retire. That's why I want to build it up. And now that I've told this year, maybe I'll buy less games and do a little more investing in a lot of different things to build up for the future rather than today. And besides, doing that, maybe later on down the road will be afford me to do other things that I want to buy anyway. So I know when you talk about that, some people get bored, but to me, stock and that stuff is exciting. I literally got, the last couple of days, I literally got 50 dividend stocks. I need to go through all the earnings and decide a couple. Because I need to diversify my portfolio, first of all, because it's only got 3 companies in it right now. And WWE is the majority of it. And you never want to have one thing be the dominant in your portfolio. Just like you never, ever want to have one sector like oil or tech or whatever dominate your portfolio. Because if that sector falls out, then your portfolio takes a massive hit. So the other thing I like to do is I like to buy stocks that give dividends on different months. So like the last time before I sold everything off, I had literally was giving a dividend every month, and it's always cool when that happens because you're like, oh cool, more money in the account, kind of thing. But also getting off the stock talk, I did play 2 games. One I played a little more Mario Kart 7. What I was doing on my 3DS was I was put it in my backpack at work, and I was walking around with it in there, because it counts how many footsteps you take, and then every 100 you get a coin, and you can only get 10 coins a day, up to 300 coins total. You can't go any higher than 300, and you can use those in your games and stuff. So I was walking around and do that, 400 or 500 feet a day, kind of thing. And so I was doing that, and I played a little more Mario Kart, not much. And then the big thing, I finally got to download Twisted Metal demo. And ironically enough, me and my wife were talking about, she just got Final Fantasy 13-2 at Best Buy because it has that book that fills in the gap between 13 and 13-2, I guess. And she asked me, we were talking about games you want this year. And I told her, right now, the only game I want short term would be Twisted Metal. And so I'm going to get Twisted Metal. Probably not on the day it comes out, but I'm going to get that game because, after playing that game, I forgot how much I love Twisted Metal. I played the online and single player in the demo, and they're both great. I mean, right now, when I get off here, I'm going to go play some more Twisted Metal online. It's a lot of fun. A lot of high, fast-paced, carnage fun. You can, a lot of the environment destructs and cool stuff like that. So really, really fun. I'm having a lot of fun with Twisted Metal. After playing the demo, I can't wait for that game to come out now. Basically, for the most part, that's all that's going on, except for today I'm working on here, majorly cleaning. I got to finish. The paneling's not off the wall down there for the game room all the way. I'm going to take that off today because my wife wants to. She's going to see for the no. Growing up, my dad, even though he had tools, never let me work with that stuff, and my wife was the opposite, where her dad let her work with that stuff all the time. So she's going to. So once I'm going to get the paneling down, and this week while I'm at work, she's going to wire the outlets and stuff that I've said I'll need for the game room and stuff, and so start that stuff over there. I thought we were originally going to work down here first, but instead she wants to work down there because once we get the shelves and everything up there, all the games that are all over the place down here and in the entertainment center stuff can all go down there and be out of the way. So we're going to do that first, and then this will be next. So guys, that's all that's going on with me. I've just been doing a lot of different things, so I will talk to you guys all again tomorrow.